Okay. Okay. What I'd like to do is a little bit unusual in that I'd like to read the Parsha and compare it to the Haftarah, and then give you something that it would surprise me completely. I didn't even know till this Friday night. So let's do this beginning of the Parsha, and we'll get it. And we just get a sense of what's happening. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start with Parshat Truma. We'll just get a sense. It doesn't be exact. I just want to get a feeling for what the Parsha says. Okay. Okay. So who wants to read?
Hold on. Truma is cafe. I'll read.
Okay.
וידבר השם אל משה לאמור, דבר אל בני ישראל ויקחו לי תרומה מאת כל איש אשר ידבנו ליבו, תיקחו את תרומתי. וזאת התרומה אשר תיקחו מאיתם זהב וכסף ונחושת, ותכלת וארגמן ותולעת שני ושש ועיזים. ואורות אלים.
Yeah, I just want to get a sense what's going on. Go ahead.
ואורות אילים, מאדמים, ואורות תחשים ועצי שיטים. שמן למאור בסמים, לשמן המשחה ולקטורת הסמים. אבני שוהם ואבני מילואים לאפוד ולחושן. ועשו לי משכן ושכנתי בתוכו. ככל אשר אני מראה אותך את תבנית המשכן ואת תבנית כל כליו. Should I stop?
No, that's it. So now, without thinking very much, you just read something, and let's hold any comment on it for the time being.
Okay.
And let's now go to the Haftarah. We'll come back to it in a session, but
okay.
I just want you just got a sense. Now let's take a look at the Haftarah.
All right. What is the Haftarah?
It is Melachim Aleph Siman Hey.
Aleph, hey. Does it start from Perek Aleph? From Pasuk Aleph?
Pasuk Hey.
Perek Hey, Pasuk Hey?
Perek I'm sorry, I apologize. No, you're right. From Melachim Aleph Perek Hey. I'm sorry, from beginning.
Okay.
No, that's not. It's maybe. Wait a minute. Keep going a little bit down. I mean more. Keep going. No, I want more. Go further, please. Go further. Okay. Now keep going. We're not quite there yet. Oh wait. Hold on. No. Go back. There you go. Back a little more, sweets. Go back. Yeah, very close. A little more. No. Okay.
What are the?
I don't have the pasuk here. That's why.
Okay. Well, tell me the wording. I'll find it.
והשם נתן חוכמה לשלמה, כאשר דיבר לו, ויהי שלום בין חירם ושלמה, וכתוב בשניהם. It must be right around there. No, I think it's too far.
Here it is.
Yeah. Okay, great. Okay, who wants to read this one?
Oh, hold on. I'm going to let Ahuva in. Okay. I'll read it.
Okay.
Oh, hold on. Also, Ellie's joining. 1 minute. Just going to add
Now, Ahuva's also on there.
Yeah.
Hi, Saba.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Huv.
Oh, my goodness. I would say great. So for those who didn't, you know what, since we have 2 minutes, do me a favor, let's start Truma again the way you did before. Just because, and we're not making any explanations, not translating, just get a feel for it. So Shanshke, do that one more time, okay?
Truma, yeah.
Ellie is there. Yeah, I see Ellie and Hauva. It's very important. We're just going to get a sense. We're not going to go into details, just a sense of what's happening. So, Shan, one more time, we'll go. Okay?
וידבר השם אל משה לאמור, דבר אל בני ישראל, ויקחו לי תרומה מאת כל איש אשר ידבנו ליבו, תיקחו את תרומתי. וזאת התרומה אשר תיקחו מאיתם זהב וכסף ונחושת, ותכלת וארגמן ותולעת שני ושש ועזים, ואורות אלים מאדמים ואורות תחשים ועצי שיטים, שמן למאור, בסמים לשמן המשחה ולקטורת הסמים, אבני שוהם ואבני מילואים לאפוד ולחושן, ועשו לי מקדש ושכנתי בתוכו. Shall I continue?
Okay. Just one more pursuit.
ככל אשר אני מראה אותך.
it's בתוכם.
בתוכם.
שני, it's בתוכם, not בתוכם.
וואי, לא נעים.
Ellie, yes, there are a lot of stuff to talk about. I'm not into the, you're 100% correct. What that means, hold off and just get a sense of what's going on here. Hashem basically says, "Likhu li truma mikol ish asher yidvenu libo tikhu et trumati." Whoever wants to give, and give a list of all that you can give. V'asu li mikdash v'shachanti betocham, and I'll come in either. I will be amongst them. Basically, in two sentences, that's what it says, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Details, let's hold off. Now I want to go to the Haftarah. And Haftarah starts, okay, go ahead. Put Vashem Natan. Who wants to read that?
I can read.
Okay, Tali.
והשם נתן חכמה לשלמה כאשר דיבר לו, ויהי שלום בין חירם ובין שלמה, ויקרתו ברית.
I can't hear too well, is it?
Is it me?
It needs to be
Am I too
louder.
low?
Yeah, Tali, it's a little muffled.
I don't have such strong connection. Is this better or you just don't hear me?
It's very muffled.
So someone else. Sorry,
Okay.
I don't have such good connection.
Okay,
I can read it.
okay.
Okay. Vashem natan chachma l'shlomo kasher diber lo v'hi shalom bein Hiram uvein Shlomo v'yichartu brit shnehem.
Just keep going. Well, I just want to get a sense for the Haftarah. Go ahead.
Okay. Ve'al melech Shlomo mas mikol Yisrael v'hi hamas 30,000 ish. V'yishlachim livnona.
Lebanon. He went to Lebanon.
Livnona. Asar alafim b'chodesh chalifo chodesh yil b'Lebanon. Shnaim chadashim b'bito ve'adoniram al Hamas. V'hi l'shlomo 70,000 nasei sabal u'shmonim 1,000 chotziv bahar. Levad misarei hanitzavim l'shlomo asher al hamelacha shosha alafim u'shalosh me'ot hordim ba'am
Harodim. Who wants to translate with Harodim?
That went down.
No. They make sure you do what you overrule you.
Right.
Okay. A little more.
Vayitzav hamelech vayisu avnim gedolo avnim yikarot liyasod habayit avnei gazit.
Okay, let's stop right here. And let's jump over. I can't give you the pasuk, but it's toward the end. Vayhi dvar Hashem el Shlomo lemor.
The end of the Haftorah.
Yeah,
It's in Haftorah. Yes, the last few pasukim in Haftorah.
Vayhi dvar Hashem el Shlomo lemor. Habayit hazeh asher ata boneh im telich b'chuchoti v'et mishpati taseh. V'shvartem et kol mitzvotai l'alecha b'hem v'hakemoti et divrei itach asher dibarti al David avicha. V'shachanti b'toch b'nei Yisrael v'lo azov et ami Yisrael.
Okay, so now we have two models of building a house for God, right? The one is Truma, when we begin, and the other one is the Beit HaMikdash. Anybody see a difference between the two of them? What is the key word, would you say, in Pashta Truma? ייקחו לי תרומה
Yidvenu.
תרומה.
מאת כל איש אשר
Yidvenu.
ידבנו ליבו. What does that mean?
Like who wants. Like
Whatever
who
you
wants
want to give. If you happen to have whatever in the house, give it down. אשר ידבנו ליבו. And at the end, pasuk chet, ועשו לי
מקדש.
ושכנתי בתוכם. God says, I want you to collect money. Whoever wants to give, whatever you want to give, this and that, gold and silver, whatever you have, I'll take. ושכנתי בתוכם. I think Eli already mentioned this. ושכנתי בתוכם. Who wants to translate ושכנתי בתוכם?
And I
Go ahead.
I don't know how
I
to
will
say
rest. I will mishchin. I will be where?
Amongst
בתוכם.
you.
Where?
within.
No.
Within.
A little translation would be in
בתוכם.
you.
מה זה
but
בתוכם?
Within.
Amongst you. Some say בתוכם, in your heart. You give, and Hashem shchana betochom, inside of you. It could be either way. But v'shachanti betocham. So let's review one more time what the model for the Mishkan is, and then we'll go to the model of Bet HaMikdash. So the model is Tikhu Truma, Ish asher yidvenu libo tikhu trumati. Whatever your heart gives, and if you do that, v'shachanti betocham, I will automatically come and move my shechina amongst you, or within you. Clear that is the message in Torah?
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Yeah.
Now, let's go back and see the Haftarah one more time. Who builds the Beit HaMikdash?
Shlomo.
Shlomo. And what does he do? What's the next? Vayalam el Shlomo mas. Ma's a mas? Misim?
You're forcing people
Your
to.
kids better know what misim is. What's misim?
Texas.
Taxes. He puts tax on the people. Keep going. Vayama 30,000 ish. Do you know what the tax was? 30,000 men. And what does he do with them? Vaishlachem Lebanona. What does he do with them?
Sends them to Lebanon.
He sends them out from home and sends them up to Lebanon. 10,000 b'chodesh.
What was his purpose in that? I don't remember.
I'm sorry.
What was his purpose in doing that?
We'll get to it. We'll get to it. So he sent to Lebanon 10,000 b'chodesh. Chalifrot chodesh b'Lebanon. Shnayim b'beto. So now you have. He brings the people up in rotation. 10,000 men go away for 1 month in Lebanon, leave their house, and the other 10 come. They come back for 2 months, and then come back, and then come back. And va'adoniram al Hamas. What does that mean?
They put someone else on the.
Adoniram is a person who watches to make sure everybody pays his taxes, and the taxes are not just money; the taxes are work. You take them and you bring them up to Lebanon. What is in Lebanon? Anybody know why when you build a building, do you need Lebanon?
They have
Lebanon.
Trees.
There are no
Lebanon.
such trees. There are the Arazim in Israel, but they're nothing like the Azor Lebanon, because the Arazim in Israel, you can't make furniture out of it. So 10,000 men get sent up to Lebanon, and they stay there for a month. Then they're allowed to go back for 2 months, and another 10,000 go, and then again, all over again. And there is Adoniram, Alamas. There's one person who makes sure that all of this goes on. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Keep going. Vayhi Shlomo.
Do you want me to reach on? I should know.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I think.
Vayhi Shlomo Shivim Ela.
70,000. Addition to those 10,000 each month, he takes 70,000. What do they do?
Sabal.
Moses Sabal.
This is Sabal.
What's Sabal? Do you know what Sabal is? Sabalim? Schlepper, they schlep. Because when you bring the trees from Lebanon, it goes along the coast till Yafo, and from Yafo we've got to schlep it to Yerushalayim, what is today Route 1. For that you needed 70,000 men. Ushmonim-elef chotzev bahar. What's chotzev bahar? Quarry. You know what quarry is? Everybody knows what that is? The quarry is where you build, where you get the rocks from. You get the rocks from the quarry.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do you see what's going on here?
Huge.
Keep going. Levad.
Levad. Misarei hanitzavim l'shlomo asher al ha-melacha shlosha alafim v'shalosh me'ot hardim ba'am ha'osim b'melacha.
In addition to the 10,000 men etching every month who are allowed to stay in their home for 2 months and then go to work, 70,000 who schlep, 3,000. But in addition to this, 3,000 harodim ba'am. What's rodim ba'am?
Like overseas.
Overseas. All right. Now, okay. Is there any difference? Well, I'll tell you what. Let's go. Let's jump now to the last part of the Haftorah. We'll go back. Vayhi dvar Hashem l'Shlomo lemor.
Vayhi dvar Hashem al Shlomo lemor. Habayit hazeh asher ata boneh im telich b'chukotai et mishpatai taseh v'shmarta et kol mitzotai lachet b'hem v'akimoti et dvar itach asher dibarti al David avicha.
Go again.
V'shchanti b'toch b'nei Yisrael v'lo azov et ami Yisrael.
So what is the major word in this sentence that Hashem speaks to?
Can you give up?
Im. If you don't, no.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the pasuk. Now, having said that, let's go back and see the difference between Truma, where the Pasha, and the difference over here. What's the most glaring difference?
Like
What's
obligatory
Truma,
or-
Ish asher
yidvenu.
yidvenu libo. Well, if you want to do it, you do it. You don't want to do it. It's all nedava. It's all perfect. People giving things to Hashem to build a Mishkan. What is the reward for that? V'shachanti b'tocham. Does the word im appear here?
No.
Because if it comes from your heart, there is no im. I know exactly why you did it, and I will be amongst you. What happened in Shlomo HaMelech's time? What's the opposite? There is a tax. There are people who have to go to work. There are people who watch them. Is that the same as Asher Yidvenu Libo?
No.
Major difference. As a result of that, what does Hashem say? You built a house for me, but be sure it's what I really want. If it's true, im telech bechukotai v'et mishpatai taseh v'shamart et kol mitzvotai lechem, then v'akimot v'elecha shedibarta al David avicha v'shachanti betoch b'nei Yisrael. It doesn't say here automatically. I want to see what the real purpose of the bayit is. Could be that the bayit was built to make Shlomo HaMelech look good. Who remembers the Shir Shel Yom this morning? This Shir Shel Yom, anybody know?
This morning is
The David Mizmor.
Let me, yeah. Lashem Alsum Loa. Remember this? What's the last psukim in the
מילות דרך הכבוד, לשם
no,
וגיבור.
stop before. No. Se'u, go ahead. The two ideas. Se'u.
What?
Se'u Sharim, right?
Sharim Rashechem.
Who knows? Did you find it?
Se'u Sharim Rashechem.
Se'u Sharim Roshechem.
וינשאו פתחי עולם ויבוא
V'nasu
מלך הכבוד.
pitchei olam. Keep going.
ויבוא מלך הכבוד.
Mi ze melech hakavod? Keep going.
השם עזוז וגיבור, השם גיבור
Hashem
מלחמה.
Gibor. Go on.
מי הוא זה מלך הכבוד? שאו שירים ראשיכם, שאו
Well,
פתחי
and
עולם.
then that's finished.
וינשאו פתחי עולם.
She'u sharim rashechem. Go ahead.
וינשאו פתחי עולם.
V'nas'u pitchei olam. No?
ויבוא מלך הכבוד.
V'yavo melech hakavod.
Music.
What's next?
מי הוא זה מלך הכבוד? השם צבקות ומלך הכבוד צלם.
Mihu ze melech hakavod. Hashem tza'ot v'melech salah. The Medrash picks up that beautiful. So Shlomo Melech comes in and brings in the Aron HaKodesh into the Kodesh Kodashim. And the gates close. You cannot bring it in. To which he says, "Se'u sharim rashechem." Gates, open up the gates. Ve'yavo melech hakavod. You remember this pasuk? Can you bring it up on the Daphne, can you
hold on.
bring it up on Shir Shel Yom of Yom Rishon? It's
Yom
amazing.
Let me see if I could get it. Here.
Perfect. So go down, Daphne. Okay. Se'u she'arim rashechem v'yinas'u pitchei olam ve'yavo melech hakavod. Mi ze melech hakavod? Hashem izuz v'gibor. Hashem gibor mechama. Se'u she'arim rashechem v'yinas'u pitchei olam ve'yavo melech hakavod. Mi hu ze melech hakavod? Hashem tza'ot v'melech hakavod tzala. What do you think is going on over here?
I remember hearing that.
What do you think, just in your mind? What is going on over here? Remember, I told you that Moshe Shlomo Melech is bringing in the Aron HaKodesh to Kodesh Kodashim, and the goats and the gates stop. What does he say to them? Se'u sharim achshechem v'nas'u pitchei olam v'yamelech hakavod. What did the sharim ask?
Mi ze melech
Mihu.
Mi ze melech hakavod? What's the question?
Like who are like?
Is
are
it
you kind of
you?
referring to
Is
yourself?
it you, the Melech HaKavod? Did you build this Beit HaMikdash for you, or did they build it for Hashem? Magnificent question. Why? Because look at what you did. When the Nedavah came in Truma, nobody had to ask a question. I give money, you give silver, you give gold, you give whatever it is. V'shachanti b'tocham. Here, 30,000 men have to go to Lebanon, 70,000 to Shlep. There's Adoniram, the Rodim Ba'am. Me, who's the Melech HaKavod? Who is really the Melech HaKavod over here? That's what Shalim say. We're not open up for you. We have to be sure that the Beit HaMikdash was built not for your girlie. Okay. Again, me the Melech HaKavod. He answers, Hashem izuz gibor melchama. Do they open up?
No.
No. And again he says, Se'u sharim ashechem, u'se'u pitchei olam v'yamor melech hakavod. Mi hu ze melech hakavod. And finally Hashem tzvot melech hakavod tzela. Oh. The sharim finally got calmed down. The Hashem said, okay, v'yavo melech hakavod is melech hakavod. And that is the whole story about the Beit HaMikdash throughout all of history. Shlomo Melech loved the Melech HaKavod. But by doing it the way he did, there was always a question. Did he do it to glorify himself, or did he do it to glorify Hashem? And that's where the argument comes in. And the most beautiful thing comes in. The Medrash says, ultimately, he says, you know what? Your question is so good, I can't really answer it. Maybe there is a piece of my own, I don't know, none of us really know. I think personally, between you and me, there was no question in mind that this was a what do you call it? major work for Hashem. In those days when you didn't have trucks and tractors and things, the only way you could do that is by having people work for you.
Mhm.
But his ultimate reaction was, Hashem. But outside, the Sha'arim had to be convinced that that's what he does. But the Medrash doesn't stop over there. The Medrash says, then, this is beautiful, you know it, Uvenucho Yomar, Shuv Hashem Esat, Uvenucho Yomar. Ba'avur David Avdecha, Tasher Pnei Mishichecha, Ki Lekachton Levotem. You know what I'm talking about?
כן.
And when you put the
Yes.
Sefer Torah back into the Aron HaKodesh,
Mhm.
Ki Lekachton Levotem. Uvenucho Yomar, Shuv Hashem Esat, Kum Hashem Esat, Ata Aron Esat, Kohanecha, Yodeshut Seder V'Asam, Ba'avur David Avdecha, Tasher Pnei Mishichecha, Ki Lekachton Levotem, Lechem Torah, do you remember what I'm talking about?
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Of course. In that Uvenucha Yoma is hidden how Shlomo Melech ultimately says, Ba'avur David Avdecha al tashev pnei mishichecha. It's a beautiful idea. No question that I did this whole thing for you, God. But maybe for the outside, it looks funny. Maybe outside, look at it in a different position. I don't have it. Ba'avur David Avdecha al tashev pnei mishichecha. I am asking you to do it because of my father David. My father David, no question what he had. My father wanted to build a Beit HaMikdash, and because he wanted to build HaMikdash, he had to do it. Was he allowed to make the Beit HaMikdash?
No.
Why not?
No. You had too much
Beautiful.
blood.
I'll show you. This is so magnificent. This whole thing is like, it's a story of drama the way you can't imagine. Because basically what the Sha'arim are asking, when you do it, do you really have in mind only Hashem or Mizem Melech HaKavod? And there's no question Shlomo Melech HaKavod Hashem Utzvat Kana. But I'm not even I can't really make sure in my own mind what I think. That's an emotional feeling. Ba'avur David Avdecha al tashev pnei mishichecha. And as soon as he says that, the Sha'arim opened up. So I just want to show you very quickly. It's something that I don't know why, but very few people are aware of this part. And that is the end of Divrei Hayamim. Divrei Hayamim. Watch this. Pick up Divrei Hayamim, Aleph.
One. What parak, Saba?
Perek, make it Perek Kafchaf. I'm sorry, Chaftet. It's a beautiful thing you'll see. Chaftet, Aleph. Who wants to read that?
I can read it.
Go.
ויאמר דוד המלך לכל הקהל, שלמה בני אחד בחר בו אלוקים, נער ורך, והמלאכה גדולה, כי לא לאדם הבירה, כי להשם אלוקים. וככל כוחי הכינותי לבית אלוהי זהב לזהב, והכסף לכסף, והנחושת לנחושת, הברזל לברזל, והעצים לעצים, אבני השוהם, ומילואים, אבני פוך ורקמה.
So here you see that David HaMelech wants to build a Beit HaMikdash, and he starts collecting material. Doesn't say anything about Nisim. Go ahead.
וכל אבן יקרה ואבני שש לרוב. ועוד ברצותי בבית השם, בבית אלוקי, יש לי סגולה, זהב וכסף ונתתי לבית אלוקי, למעלה מכל הכינותי לבית הקודש. 3,000 כיכר זהב מזהב אופיר, ו7,000 כיכר כסף מזוקק לתוח קירות הבתים. לזהב לזהב ולכסף לכסף, ולכל מלאכה ביד חרשים, ומי
Isn't it
מתנדב
beautiful? Keep going.
למלות ידו היום להשם. והתנדבו שרי האבות ושרי שבטי ישראל.
So, yeah. So you see what's going on? It's Nadvu. There is Nedava. Originally, David HaMelech said, I want to build the Beit HaMikdash. Hashem told him, you cannot build the Beit HaMikdash. Anybody know why? You were too much with war.
Too much blood on his hand.
Too much blood on you, meaning anybody who had to do war, and there was no you know what? Go, if you don't mind, to Perek Chavchet, Pasuk.
Wait, Saba, is this saying that the original plan was for it to be with
I'm
donations?
sorry, I can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. Is this saying that the original plan was for it to be with donations?
Yes, look at this. Go Pasuk Chavchet.
פרק
Perek Chavchet. You'll love this, what it goes on here.
What pasuk stabs?
You know what? Let's start from Pasuk Bet.
Okay. ויקם דוד המלך על רגליו ויאמר שמעוני אחי ועמי אני עם לבבי לבנות בית מנוחה לארון ברית השם ולהדום רגלי אלוקינו הכינותי לבנות. והאלוקים אמר לי לא תבנה בית.
Wait, just a minute. David HaMelech is chalish way to build the Beit HaMikdash. But, go ahead, Elohim.
והאלוקים אמר לי לא תבנה בית לשמי.
לא תבנה בית לשמי. You cannot, why?
איש מלחמות אתה, בדמים שפכת.
You had to war. Now, nobody's going to argue with you that you had to fight. But still, a war is a war. A war is a war. People die. I cannot have the person who is involved with war build the Beit HaMikdash for me.
But also Shlomo was involved with war.
I'm sorry?
Also Shlomo was involved with war.
I can't hear.
Also Shlomo was involved with war.
Who said?
What?
Why is his name Shlomo?
Shalom.
Shalom. He was brilliant. He had all these wives. What do you think he had all these wives for? He was able to make diplomatic treaties with all the enemies around. There was never a war in the Shlomo. Never. And he'll keep going.
ויבחר השם אלוקים ישראל, אלוקי ישראל בי מכל
Who is B? Who is speaking? Shlomo.
להיות למלך על ישראל לעולם, כי ביהודה בחר לנגיד ובבית יהודה בית אבי ובבני אבי בי רצה להמליך על כל ישראל. ומכל בניי...
Skip just a little bit if you don't mind. Just skip to Pasuk Vav.
ויאמר לי שלמה בנך הוא יבנה ביתי וחצרותיי כי בחרתי בו לי לבן ואני אהיה לו לאב. והכינותי את מלכותו עד לעולם אם יחזק לעשות מצוותיי ומשפטיי כיום הזה.
You have a magnificent picture now. David HaMelech wants to build the Beit HaMikdash. Hashem says you can't. Even though all the wars you had were justified, people died. There's one person who I feel this should be doing it, Shlomo HaMelech. But remember, Shlomo HaMelech now gets a what do you call it, a command from his father, you build it. And you already had gold and silver and so on. But in that area, when there is no trucks, and no planes, and no steamboats, how am I going to build this? The only way I can build this is by having people work for me. Hopefully they will understand that their work that they did in Lebanon is for Hashem. They have to have the possibility to do this. But then at the end of this whole thing, Hashem says, im. Because deep down, you have to prove to yourself and to me that that's the reason you made it. And even the gates, and he says, who is it? It's you know who's really asking the question? Shlomo is asking his own question. Mm-hmm. Is it possible that one of the reasons I built it was not 100% because of Hashem? Human beings always ask themselves, they can't always understand. Did I really do it purely for Hashem? And then he turns, Ba'avur David Avdecha, Al Tasher Pnei Mishichecha. I don't know, maybe I didn't do the right 100%. Let's do for my father. And when you say do for my father, you know that it's not me, it's for Hashem. And finally the gates open up, and Shlomo Melech brings in the Aron HaKodesh, and that becomes the Beit HaMikdash for 450 years. Nifla, no? But it's such a human thing, because we humans never, are we really 100% sure that all we do is L'Shem Shamayim? And Shlomo Melech himself, even though I'm sure, and there's no question in my mind why he did all this, because there was no, interesting also is, he didn't build his own house till he finished Beit HaMikdash. Mm-hmm. And he didn't, and it took him 13 years to build his own house. Only took 7 years. Beit HaMikdash, he moved Beit HaMikdash. He wanted that quickly. So it's not my house; it's Hashem's house.
Saba, can I ask a question?
Sure. Yeah, it's an amazing thing to see this, to see the whole picture.
Thank you, Saba.
Yeah, nice. Yeah.
If the Zoom ends, we could just click it again. It's coming to an end really soon. So just an update.
Oh, okay.
Who has a question?
Okay. Oh, I just had a question that I thought we said that I remember learning somewhere that like
who's talking?
Oh, Ahuva. Hi.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I was learning in one of my classes today about how like with Alicia and Naaman, like with
Naaman.
Naaman, and like how Alicia wanted to do like a physical action so that it wouldn't look like it was coming from him. So if Shlomo was building the Mikdash and it was like all these physical things, why would anyone think that it wasn't from Hashem and it was from Shlomo?
Yeah, you have to be careful. Are you 100%? What we do, I'll tell you honestly, when the Chazan goes in front of an Shliach Tzibur, does he do it because he wants to sing to God, or does he want to show that he can sing? And it's always a very, very thin thing. And every human being who does that, whatever we do, we struggle in our own minds. Are we really completely doing it for Hashem?
Right.
And sometimes we have to say, Ba'avur David Avdecha. I'm doing it because my father told me to do this. And then the Sha'arim open up. Yeah. Because also, you're willing to admit that you don't really 100% sure.
Right. And also, Saba, I had a different point, but like, don't we always say that it's like Gadol HaMetzuva Ve'osa Misha like Eino Mitzvah?